Today, we look at another key to success, and that is to be creative. We will discuss why we need to be creative, why we stop being creative in the first place, and what steps we need to do to become more creative. Welcome to the Rodney Podcast. One of the things that occurred to me as I was getting into fitness and getting more involved on Instagram was that everybody became an expert. And everybody became somebody who wanted to sell their program. And a lot of people are very successful on the program that they're on. Like they follow the program and you can tell that whatever they're doing is working for them. And I think that's the greatest advertisement you can do, is evidence of a change. And so what I quickly realized was that with so many different options and so many different people, and also so many different forms of information out there with Google, Safari, and different ways to search, bodybuilding.com, that the information was out there for everybody to kind of create their own program. But sometimes people just wanted to be told what to do. Okay, fair enough. And so one of the things I did to my good friend Travis Yance Fit, is I told him that you should give away your program. Now, it's interesting because people, make them affordable, they make them cheap. There's a lot of online personal trainers out there, and giving something away does not seem natural. And what's the reason for that? Why would you give something away? How are you going to make money? I mean, he worked hard on the program, putting it together and making it into a form that's readable and that you can be able to follow. But here's my reasoning. Because you need to stand out, I believe. You need to make your mark. You need to rise above everybody else by being creative. So I said, you give them away. You find one or two people who actually use the program and then make a change. And then once they change and you can show a before and after, more people will be interested, and you'll get that one person, right, who is busy, right? They're a businessman, or they work in such a field that they're just busy from start to finish, and all they want to do is open up something on their phone, read it and do it and see results, right? And so you're going to find that person who will hire you to do that for them personally, and you can name your price because you already have the proof in the pudding, right? And so instead of going for small dollars, begging, trying to sell something that everybody else is doing, I encourage him to be creative and to think of a way that he could make money in the long term. So he did it, and needless to say, I believe I was right. And you can reach out to him, travisyancefit.com, if you need to, or find him on Instagram and ask him. But anyway, today's podcast is all about being creative. So welcome to the Rodney Podcast.
What's up, guys? This is Travis Yance with TravisYanceFitness.com, creator of the Alpha Fitness Program, and you're listening to the Rodney O Podcast, the Alpha of Podcasts.
Okay, today's podcast is being recorded in February of 2019, and it's part of a daily month-long series titled Keys to Success, right? And today's key to success is called Be Creative. Remember when you were young and you had playtime? Maybe a recess, maybe your parents told you to occupy yourselves. And I know there's video games now, but when you're really young, when you had cars, dolls, action figures, a dollhouse, anything, right? And you would play and you would make them talk, right? You pretended that kitchen set actually made food, or that you were really drinking tea, right? You would sit down and say, let's have our tea. Here's your cookie, And then working with kids, I saw this a lot too. Like you hold out your hand, they put something in your hand, and you pretend to eat it. You see, we were all very creative as kids. Then something happened. I mean, we focused so much on reality that we kind of lost our imagination as we got older. Now, I don't want you to go to work and bring a toy kitchenette set and pretend you're really eating lunch, right? They may call it 5150 on you. But in a sense, we need to keep our imagination. Because what happens when we get older and we have a goal in mind, right? We have this goal we want to achieve. We want to be successful. We want to experience success in something. but we wind up falling into a norm. We wind up doing what everybody else does. Why is that? It's because we can't think of any original idea. This key is very similar to the one about not conforming. But once you make that decision to not conform, you're going to have to think real hard and brainstorm about original ideas. You see, the problem is we tend to rationalize everything and set limits on what is possible or practical. You know, I admit some things that were crazy back then for me that I would say, this is crazy. And like I said, these podcasts, I usually date myself in these podcasts, but the iPhone. Do you know when the iPhone first came out, I said it was dumb, that I would never own one, that why would I need a computer on my phone, right? It costs too much. I said, this thing looks funny. It's flat. How are you supposed to talk on it, right? You know, there's no buttons. Everything is on a touch screen. That is crazy. How are you supposed to dial, and then how are you supposed to navigate around that thing, right? But now, guess what? It's kind of the norm, right? It's like we get it at whatever costs. And I remember when I first got mine in 2011, I just bought my brand new Roush Mustang, and my poor little flip phone would not connect to the Bluetooth, even though I have Bluetooth, right? So I broke down. Another one is Facebook. Back in the day, I said I already did, and I already have that whole, personal page thing, and I had it on MySpace, right? So why would I need to go on Facebook? It's dumb. I'll never make a profile. I don't even understand how they're supposed to think they're going to make money anyway. It'll be gone. MySpace is already fading out. Facebook will have the same fate. Nobody will use this. Guess what? Yep, I was wrong. Right. I was wrong. And it works good now. And it did kind of go on its way out for a little bit, but it really does work well for ads. I use it a lot for my real estate ads. It really works, and I can target an area. I can target a demographic. It just works wonders. It's just really good. And so the truth is this. Successful people get creative to navigate their path to success. They find ways to get where they want to go because, like a previous key that I did this month, they think outside the box and live outside the box. But that requires us to be more creative. So what do we need to do to help us to become more creative? Well, first thing I say is daydream. Write everything down and see what it means for it to work. What would it take for certain things to happen? Just kind of dream big and just write down, no matter how ridiculous it is, write it down. Because the second key is don't limit yourself. Don't put yourself on limits saying this will never happen. I won't be able to do this. Just write down everything because you probably won't be able to do everything, but there will be some things you'll be surprised about that you get creative with, and that works. Because the third key that I want to talk about in order to become more creative is you need to try. You need to go for it. Try that. Try giving that program out for free. Try changing up your approach. Try doing something different and see if it works. What's it gonna hurt? So anyway, that was a quick one for you guys. Please feel free to dialogue with me. My YouTube video series, Rodney O Weekly, shows that I am living what I actually speak here on the podcast. Please be sure to subscribe to that channel. I have a link in the description here for the podcast, or you can simply go to YouTube and search Rodney O Weekly. Remember this. I want to inspire, encourage, and motivate all of you as we navigate this journey that we call life. Thank you for joining me, and I will see you guys in the next one.